Welcome to the Nordic Venture Show, your speed date with the coolest ventures, brightest founders, and exciting things happening in the Nordics. In this episode, our venture date is with MULTIVISIONdx, one of the pitch competition winners at the Maria 01 Now 2025 event.
All right, let's just get into it. Today we're diving into something that genuinely feels pulled straight from some sci-fi movie about future medicine.
Right.
But guess what? It's happening right now. We're talking about a pretty groundbreaking leap in cancer diagnostics. It seems poised to transform how solid cancers are understood and, crucially, how they're treated. Our mission for this deep dive is to explore a company called MULTIVISIONdx. We want to understand their, truly innovative approach, the deep science behind it, and what it all means for that very personal journey of medicine.
Yeah.
We're going to try and cut through the complexity, pull out the most important insights, helping you grasp the core of this really exciting development.
Definitely.
So just imagine a future where cancer treatment isn't some generic one-size-fits-all approach, but is tailored precisely to you. How close are we to that reality? It's quite a thought, right?
It really is. And what's truly fascinating here is that we're not just looking at a new diagnostic tool. We're kind of witnessing the emergence of a whole new paradigm in understanding the incredibly diverse nature of cancer.
A new paradigm.
Yeah, MULTIVISIONdx is essentially leveraging advanced technology to give us a patient-specific fingerprint for tumors. This allows for a level of precision that, until now, has been incredibly challenging to achieve. And it fundamentally changes how we might approach treatment decisions.
That idea of a fingerprint is so compelling, paints such a vivid picture. So let's really get into the how. What exactly is MULTIVISIONdx building to create these unique patient profiles? What kind of data are they working with?
Okay, so they're developing AI-powered decision support tools. Think of it as a highly sophisticated machine learning computer vision workflow. This advanced AI is designed to analyze extremely rich, detailed images from patient samples.
Right, rich images. And the subject of their analysis isn't just any tissue sample. It's something called multiplex stained biopsies. Now, as I was going through the material, this aspect really jumped out at me. It's like, imagine instead of a simple black and white photo of a tumor, you're getting a super high-resolution, full-color, multi-layered map.
Exactly.
This map doesn't just show cells, it reveals their genetic markers, their protein expressions, maybe even how they're signaling to each other. That's the kind of information they're pulling from each sample.
That's a great analogy.
What I found particularly intriguing in the material was this emphasis on understanding the unique biological and spatial features of the tumor and its microenvironment. It suggests they're seeing something, far more dynamic than just isolated cells. From your perspective, why is that spatial aspect, seeing where everything is and how it's arranged? Why is that so uniquely critical to understanding cancer?
That's a great question, and it really gets to the heart of their innovation. If we kind of zoom out and connect this to the bigger picture, this spatial biology approach is absolutely crucial because cancer isn't just a collection of rogue cells operating independently, right?
Right.
It's a complex, dynamic ecosystem. Understanding the spatial relationships between different cell types, the cancer cells themselves, but also, the surrounding immune cells, blood vessels, connective tissue within that tumor microenvironment, that provides vital clues about how a tumor is behaving.
Okay, so it's the context.
Precisely. Is it aggressive? How is it trying to evade the immune system? And most importantly, how might it respond to different treatments? This level of detail allows clinicians to truly assess tumor aggressiveness and tailor the most effective treatment strategies for individual patients.
Tailor the treatment.
Yeah, the aim here is to provide a more accurate prognosis and a truly precise cancer treatment approach. And what's more, the sources indicate that this technology is designed to be highly cost-effective, which is pretty significant for its wider adoption.
That cost-effective piece is absolutely critical, isn't it? Because breakthrough innovation is one thing, but if it's not accessible and affordable, it struggles to have that widespread impact on real patients.
Totally.
It's not just a bonus, it's a game changer for adoption. It certainly sounds like a significant leap forward in understanding the disease at a truly individual level. But of course, with any groundbreaking technology in medicine, especially one with such a bold vision, the big question is always, is it scientifically sound?
Always.
What does the research say about MULTIVISIONdx's credibility? I see from our sources that this technology is backed by top-class science and novel discovery. Can you tell us more about that foundational research?
Absolutely, and that's crucial. The scientific foundation for MULTIVISIONdx, it's built on years of rigorous multidisciplinary research conducted right at the University of Helsinki.
Okay, University of Helsinki.
And this isn't just theoretical work staying in the lab. The technology has undergone rigorous validation, prominently demonstrated in a substantial 650-patient proof-of-concept study.
These 650 patients,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and this study was so significant that it was published in one of the most prestigious scientific journals globally, Cell, specifically citing Buonavuori et al. 2024.
Cell.
That's huge.
It really is. Publishing in a journal of Cell's caliber means the research has passed intense scrutiny and peer review from the top minds in the field. That's an incredibly strong indicator of scientific robustness and credibility.
Wow, okay. A 650-patient study in Cell for head and neck cancer. That's a truly significant milestone in the medical world. It really speaks volumes about the rigor. So drilling down a bit, what specifically about this particular study and the overall scientific breakthrough it represents makes it such a game changer?
Right. Well, the Cell publication highlights that this technology, which was meticulously developed by researchers at the University of Helsinki, represents a first-in-class composite biomarker.
Composite biomarker. Exactly. For a specific type of cancer called head and neck squamous cell carcinoma, or HNSCC. The composite part is key here. It means they're not just looking at one isolated indicator, but actually combining several distinct biological markers and those spatial features we talked about
Putting it all together.
to get a far more comprehensive and accurate picture of the tumor's behavior. The new imaging analysis method they developed identifies individual cancer cell behaviors and tumor tissue interactions at an unprecedented single-cell level.
Single-cell level. That's incredibly detailed.
It is. And this is what truly revolutionizes diagnosis and treatment predictions for head and neck cancers, ultimately improving prognosis and guiding truly personalized treatments. And yes, as we discussed, it's designed to remain cost-effective, which is vital.
Right, the cost again.
Plus, the technology now carries pending patents for both its underlying biomarker discovery platform and this specific first-in-class HNSCC compound biomarker. That effectively establishes a new standard in tumor profiling.
So they're protecting the innovation.
They are. And it's also worth noting the caliber of the scientific advisory. You've got Sarah Wickstrom, an MD and research director at the University of Helsinki and also director of the Max Planck Institute, leading related research and advising the company. That brings deep, cutting-edge expertise.
Okay, publishing in Cell with a 650-patient study is, as you said, incredibly robust. It truly validates the science. But even with such strong scientific backing, what are some of the, practical or regulatory hurdles a technology like this typically faces, going from a successful study to widespread clinical availability? Because that's often where groundbreaking discoveries can get stalled, isn't it?
You're absolutely right to ask that. It's a critical point. The journey from a successful research study to widespread clinical use is complex. It's multifaceted. One major hurdle is regulatory approval. Think FDA clearance in the U.S. or CE marking here in Europe.
Right, the gatekeepers.
Exactly. This involves demonstrating not just efficacy, but also safety and consistent performance at scale. Another challenge is integration into existing clinical workflows. Hospitals and pathology labs, they need to be able to seamlessly adopt and utilize the technology.
Makes sense. Training equipment.
All of that. It often requires training, new equipment maybe, and definitely clear protocols. And then, of course, there's reimbursement.
Oh, yes. Who pays for it?
Ensuring that insurance companies will cover the cost of the diagnostic test. That's where the cost-effectiveness aspect becomes even more critical. Having a strong team with business and regulatory expertise, which MULTIVISIOndx clearly seems to have, is essential for navigating these waters successfully.
That makes perfect sense. It really is a marathon, not a sprint, even with such strong initial results. But behind every groundbreaking discovery, every scientific paper, every patent, there are the people, right? The minds and the drive to bring it to life. So let's unpack who the individuals are making MULTIVISIOndx a reality. And how are they navigating this journey from groundbreaking university research to a company that's, poised to transform diagnostics?
Yeah, the team looks like a really powerful blend of scientific, data science, and engineering expertise. And crucially, it's complemented by critical business and regulatory experience.
The good mix.
Seems so. At the helm, you have Carolina Buonavuori as CEO. She brings a strong background in cancer research and stem cell biology, leading the scientific strategy and operations.
Okay.
Then there's Fabian Berthelot, their head of data science. He contributes dual expertise in computational biology and cancer research, driving the core data science and product development. He actually won the Clinical Impact Prize at the Oken-Servier Glioblastoma Hackathon.
Oh, wow. Impressive.
Yeah, it showcases his applied expertise in a real-world, high-stakes setting.
Definitely. And then on the engineering side, there's Janos Lengel, the head of engineering, who's described as an engineering visionary. Sounds like he brings deep expertise in software development, which is crucial for shaping the product architecture into robust, scalable solutions.
Absolutely critical for making it usable.
And as you mentioned, Sarah Wickstrom, the medical doctor and research director, serves as science advisor, leading collaborative research and providing that vital clinical perspective. And finally, rounding out the core team is Michael Whittinger, the business advisor. His extensive experience in oncology, diagnostics, and regulatory affairs sounds absolutely crucial for guiding these innovations through those complex pathways to reach patients.
Exactly.
It's clear they've assembled a formidable, well-rounded group, seems designed for impact.
And what's truly remarkable about this team isn't just their individual expertise, but the sheer pace of their progress and the consistent external validation they've received. Just think, from securing their initial, 680,000 euros in Business Finland funding in late 2022. They were launching the MULTIVISIOndx project in early 2023. By November of that same year, they were already winning major pitch competitions like Y Science for Health and Pharma.
That's fast.
Very. They expanded their team in January 2024, won another significant award, the NIF Pitch Award in MedTech and Diagnostics, in September 2024. Then came the game-changing Cell publication in October 2024, massive scientific validation.
Just months before launching the company.
Exactly. That was just months before their official spin-out as a company from the University of Helsinki in April 2025. And most recently, they clinched the Maria EO1 and now W pitching competition for health and well-being in June 2025. This timeline, it isn't just a list of dates, it's a testament to the intense momentum
Sure.
and the rapid translation of their pioneering research into a viable company with real-world potential. Which, this raises an important question. How does this specific blend of scientific, engineering, and business acumen actually accelerate the translation of groundbreaking research into practical clinical tools that can actually help patients, especially when you factor in those hurdles we just discussed?
That's a perfect follow-up question.
Yeah.
It really highlights why that team composition matters so much, doesn't it? It sort of creates this powerful, virtuous cycle. The deep scientific understanding ensures the core technology is sound and addresses real clinical needs, not just theoretical ones. The engineering vision makes sure that this incredibly complex science can be translated into user-friendly, scalable tools that labs can actually implement.
Right, practicality.
And the business and regulatory expertise ensures that these tools can actually navigate the complex healthcare landscape, gain approvals, secure reimbursement, and ultimately reach the patients who desperately need them. Without all three components working in concert, even the most brilliant scientific discovery can struggle to make an impact. This integrated approach, as you pointed out, is truly what seems to accelerate the journey from the lab bench to the patient's bedside.
Exactly. It's the difference between just a great invention and a truly transformative innovation, perhaps.
That makes perfect sense. So, as we wrap up this deep dive into MULTIVISIOndx, we've journeyed from, cutting-edge AI and spatial biology, understanding how it creates that unique fingerprint for each tumor.
Yeah, that fingerprint idea.
To exploring the rigorous science validating it, and finally meeting the dynamic team driving this innovation forward. The transformative potential feels immense. Personalized cancer diagnostics, moving far beyond those one-size-fits-all treatments.
It's huge potential.
The aha moment for me is truly the idea that AI, combined with the incredibly detailed insights from spatial biology, isn't just about choosing the right treatment. It feels like it fundamentally shifts our understanding of cancer, from maybe a single monolithic entity to a collection of highly individual diseases, even within one patient.
That's a really interesting way to put it.
It's a lens that could reveal why some tumors respond dramatically while others resist, allowing us to maybe pivot proactively. It could transform how we even classify certain cancers, not just how we treat them. So what does this all mean for you, the listener? It could mean a future where cancer prognoses are more precise and treatments are more effective, leading to, profoundly better outcomes for patients worldwide.
And maybe zooming out just one last step, considering the ripple effect.
Yeah.
If this level of personalized diagnostic capability becomes widely adopted for solid cancers, which is MULTIVISIOndx's primary focus.
Yeah.
Just think about the broader implications.
Yeah.
What other complex diseases could benefit from a similar spatial biology and AI-driven approach? Understanding individual biological profiles, things like autoimmune diseases, neurological disorders, maybe even certain infectious diseases, often have a highly individualized progression.
Right, where everyone's different.
Exactly. This approach suggests a much broader future for medical diagnosis, where precision, guided by advanced technology, could unlock new ways to tackle some of the most challenging and previously intractable conditions we face in healthcare. This deep dive really makes you think about how far we can push the boundaries of truly personalized medicine, patient by patient.
Thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Music, or your favorite app, and connect with us on LinkedIn for more stories and insights.